Welcome to Movie Rehash. Today, I'm going to explain mystery thriller movie released in 2009, called Exam. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. 8 people who are applying for a high-level position at a secretive company are brought into a room without windows. Inside, there are 2 rows of desks. These candidates have already met certain requirements before this point, but those requirements are not explained in the movie. Each candidate picks a seat, and on each desk, there is a piece of paper that labels them as Candidate 1, Candidate 2, and so on. Then, the person in charge of the test arrives and explains the rules. The test involves answering a single question with only one correct answer. Inside the room, the candidates must follow the rules set by the company. They are not allowed to communicate with the person in charge or the guard. They cannot damage the paper or leave the room for any reason. Breaking any of these rules will result in disqualification. The person in charge asks if the candidates have any questions, then sets a timer for 80 minutes and exits the room. Once alone, the candidates flip their papers over and discover that there is nothing written on the back. The candidates exchange confused glances, and one of them begins writing, "I think I deserve," on her paper. However, the guard removes her from the room because she violated the rule of writing on the paper, thus spoiling it. Then, a young man, who is white, starts talking and convinces everyone to collaborate in order to uncover the nature of the question. He argues that for such a prestigious job, the answer cannot be simple and that teamwork is required. Unfortunately, he uses insulting names based on physical appearances, referring to some candidates as black, white, brown, blonde, brunette, dark, and deaf. White ponders about what the invigilator hasn't explicitly forbidden them to do. Realizing that the guard only intervenes when a rule is broken, the candidates conclude that anything not mentioned by the invigilator is permitted. They begin by attempting to uncover hidden messages on the papers by holding them up to the light, but that doesn't reveal anything. Breaking the surrounding lights causes the emergency lights to turn on. After carefully breaking the emergency tubes, they discover infrared light. However, none of these attempts help them see anything on the paper. They also realize that no candidate will be disqualified if they spoil another candidate's paper. When Dark suggests that they might be overlooking something obvious, White immediately dismisses her idea. They even try licking the paper, but it yields no results. White singles out Deaf, who only speaks French, and Deaf shows signs of a mental or nervous disorder. He suggests that they simply need to look at the papers while he rearranges some small pieces of glass on top of the paper. The candidates make a significant discovery. Brown, one of the candidates, reveals that he is a professional gambler. He suggests that the whole situation is a game, with the board of directors secretly observing and betting on the outcome. They speculate that the directors might be hidden on the other side of the wall. Dark, who is a psychoanalyst and seemingly has some knowledge about the company, shares information about its products, expansion, and more. Surprisingly, despite conducting research, none of the other candidates were able to find any information about the company. Dark reveals that the company they have all applied to is involved in dealing with a pandemic outbreak. They have developed suppressants for the infection and the CEO of this company is considered one of the most influential individuals in the world. White takes on a leadership role within the group, assuming the de facto position of leader. Brunette, another candidate, discovers that they can touch the guard as long as they refrain from speaking to him. She finds a lighter in one of the guard's pockets and comes up with an idea. Brunette suggests setting off the fire alarms, speculating that it might trigger something other than water, possibly revealing a photograph that contains the question they need to answer. Brunette tries to reach the sprinkler but can't. White gives her the wrong paper, leading to her disqualification. Black gets angry and threatens White. The room goes dark, but Brown brings the lights back by saying, "Lights up." They realize the lights are voice activated. White bullies Deaf into eating his paper. White lied to the group, saying they could work together until they figured things out. However, White tricked Brunette and got them disqualified. This made everyone start distrusting each other. The tension kept rising, and eventually, Black got so angry that he punched White, knocking him out. Then, Black and Brown tied up Black to a chair, but then something unexpected happened. White started having convulsions and couldn't find his medication, which he needed every hour. They realized that White was infected with something. Dark suggested that White might be a spy working for the company. Brown pointed out that Dark seemed to know a lot about the company, which made everyone suspicious that Dark could be the spy. They wanted to force the truth out of Dark, even considering using torture. Brown planned to cut Dark with a piece of paper, but before they could do anything, they discovered that Dark was actually an employee at the place they were in. They also noticed self-inflicted wounds on one of Dark's thighs, so Brown decided to cut her leg instead. The next target was her eye. Even as they continued with the threats, Dark kept insisting that she didn't know anything. Eventually, Brown started to trust Dark. White's condition worsens, and while the others discuss the best way to help, Dark discovers that Brown took White's pill and hid it under the desk using chewing gum. Brown refuses to give the pill to White and slaps it out of Dark's hand, accidentally causing it to fall down a drain. Dark pleads for White's life but gets disqualified for breaking the rules. Blonde comes to the rescue and retrieves the pill using her hair clip. She forces the medicine into White's mouth, and he quickly recovers. They decide to free him. However, White points out that time is running out, and only 4 people are left. He believes that only one person can win. White and Black start arguing and race to grab the guard's gun. Black overpowers White and takes the gun. In a moment of provocation, Black allegedly shoots White, but it turns out the gun didn't fire. A fight breaks out between them. During the scuffle, White stabs Black with a pencil and gains control of the firearm. He tries to shoot Black, but once again, the gun fails to fire. White realizes that only the guard can shoot the gun, so he places it in the guard's hand. White threatens everyone, forcing them to leave or face death. Brown leaves to save their life, and Blonde exits while shouting "Lights out," signaling her support for Black to win. In the darkness, White kills Black. However, Blonde's foot remains partially in the room, indicating that she hasn't completely left. White, in a fit of anger, wants to shoot Blonde. However, just then, the clock starts blaring, indicating that time is not yet run out. White confidently declares victory to the other side of the wall. However, the guard puts his hand on White's shoulder and shows him that there is still time left. White realizes that Def, one of the participants, had adjusted the clock to extend the time slot beyond 80 minutes. Feeling defeated, White becomes sad since the gun only works in the guard's hands. The glass wall is turned on, revealing the silhouette of the Invigilator. White feels crushed as he realizes that his efforts were all in vain. The guard disqualifies White and leads him out of the room. Meanwhile, Blonde re-enters the room, picks up her paper, and fumbles with the pieces of glass in Def's glasses. She notices that the watermark on the paper reads "Question 1" in tiny print. She offers it to Def, who returns to the room. Blonde confidently says no in response to the question posed, "Are there any questions?" It is then revealed that Def is the CEO of the company. He is a troubled but brilliant scientist who has discovered a pill with remarkable wound-healing properties. Blonde expresses her hesitation about accepting the job. The Invigilator asks why she went through all the trouble if she didn't want the position. Blonde points to Black lying on the floor, stating that it's unacceptable. The Invigilator questions her assumption that Black is dead. Blonde approaches Black and sees that the bullet wound is almost completely healed. The Invigilator explains that they had placed the fast-healing pill inside the bullet. They own the formula for the medicine, which also cured Black's illness, but it can only be produced in limited quantities. The Invigilator emphasizes that the new director must possess sympathy along with ambition, intelligence, drive, and hard work. Inspired by the revelation and seeing the potential impact she can have, Blonde accepts the job immediately. In this way, movie ends here.